I am 25-year-old woman, share an exceptionally tight bond with my cousin, also 25, accentuated by our striking physical resemblance. Our familial landscape is predominantly adorned with hues of brown-red, contrasting sharply with our shared blonde tresses. Notably, our marital journeys commenced in tandem, our husbands, aged 29 and 27, forming a closely knit fraternity. During her pregnancy, a revelation unfolded. We both bear the negative blood type, setting in motion a cascade of introspection. Subsequently, I unearthed a truth buried deep within familial secrets. My uncle's positive status rendered him an improbable biological father. The revelation, shrouded in cultural norms, unveiled a clandestine narrative. My cousin, my twin sister, entrusted to our uncle and aunt due to my aunt's perceived infertility, a practice entrenched in our cultural ethos. Conflicted by this revelation, I confided in my husband, unwittingly setting forth a chain of events leading to the unveiling of long-guarded secrets. Last week, amidst her quest for truth, my cousin unearthed a disquieting reality. Husband's positive status refuted her presumed parentage. Distraught and betrayed, she sought solace in my embrace, unaware of the treacherous currents lurking beneath. In the wake of this revelation, she severed ties with her spouse and me, her heart torn asunder by the betrayal and deceit. I bear the weight of guilt and condemnation, ostracized by family and bearing witness to the shattered remnants of familial bonds. The disclosure of our intertwined destinies exposes the intricate tapestry of kinship, woven with threads of deception and betrayal. My brother resides in a distant abode with his wife and children, estranged by geographical distance from our familial nucleus. His wife and my cousin once shared an intimate camaraderie, a bond now fractured by the turbulent winds of revelation. The silence of my cousin, cloaked in the shadows of secrecy, is juxtaposed against the clandestine conversations she shares with her husband. Amidst the turbulent currents of familial upheaval, my cousin navigates the delicate terrain of impending motherhood. Bearing the weight of twins, a genetic legacy intertwined with our familial lineage, uncertainty shrouds her emotional landscape, veiled by the cloak of her sudden departure following our conversation. Seeking solace in the sanctuary of the bathroom before vanishing into the ether. A fleeting message, laden with the echoes of love, yet suffused with an impenetrable barrier erected against the encroaching specters of familial entanglements. The frosty silence, echoing from the lips of our shared and individual progenitors, casts a pall over my soul, enveloping me in the suffocating embrace of isolation and regret. The revelation, unveiled by the tongue of my cousin's sister, lays bare the festering wound of deception, a wound festooned with the scars of complicity worn by generations past. An open secret, whispered amidst the hallowed halls of familial lore, now exposed to the unforgiving light of truth. The incredulity, woven into the fabric of disbelief, unfurls its tendrils, ensnaring the unsuspecting minds of those uninitiated into the labyrinthine complexities of cultural practices. Amidst the tumult, a semblance of reconciliation emerges, tentative tendrils of communication weaving a fragile tapestry of familial restoration. My cousin and her husband, ensnared in the intricate dance of reconciliation, wade through the murky waters of uncertainty buoyed by the tentative promise of familial unity. Our parents, chastened by the specter of regret, extend the olive branch of contrition, seeking solace amidst the shattered remnants of familial trust. As we traverse the threshold of my aunt's abode, burdened by the weight of familial turmoil, the specter of betrayal looms large, casting a long shadow over our shared lineage. Yet, amidst the ashes of deception, a flicker of hope emerges, a beacon guiding us towards the shores of reconciliation and redemption. It's abundantly clear that the spotlight has shifted away from the true victim in this narrative, who undeniably is my cousin. I refrain from passing judgment on her reaction to the situation because, frankly, none of us can comprehend the profound weight of discovering such monumental family deception. I mean, let's pause for a moment and reflect on the sheer absurdity of the situation. Who, in their right mind, would contemplate giving away a child? How does one even broach such a conversation? Oh, by the way, I happen to have these twins, but since you're childless, why not take one off my hands? It's not just nonsensical, it's downright bewildering. The ramifications of this revelation extend far beyond the mere surface level. We're delving into uncharted territory here, traversing the murky depths of familial secrets and societal norms. The very fabric of trust within the family has been irrevocably torn asunder, leaving behind a trail of shattered illusions and unanswered questions. As we grapple with the gravity of this situation, it's imperative that we approach it with empathy and understanding. My cousin's world has been upended, her sense of identity shaken to its core. It's a journey fraught with emotional turmoil and existential angst, one that demands compassion and support from those around her. In conclusion, while the circumstances may seem surreal and unfathomable, it's crucial that we rally around my cousin during this tumultuous time. Let's set aside our preconceived notions and extend a hand of solidarity as she navigates the labyrinth of familial revelations. After all, in the face of such profound upheaval, compassion is the truest currency of human connection. I can shed some light on the twisted logic behind it, though. You see, in our family, with a plethora of siblings and my mother being young at the time, my aunt pleaded with her to keep the child. It's a convoluted mess. I know, but somehow, the child isn't whisked off to some distant land, they're still within the familial fold. But let's address the elephant in the room. I messed up by not telling her first. I should have been the one to break the news, not let her find out through whispers and hushed conversations. But let's not forget the gravity of the situation here. She's grappling with a lifetime of deception, possibly realizing that every conversation, every interaction, has been tainted by lies. She may be feeling utterly alone, betrayed by those closest to her, and now, facing the dissolution of her marriage. It's not just about one lie told 25 years ago. It's about a lifetime of deceit, a web of falsehoods woven around her very existence. I understand now that my dismissive attitude towards her trauma was misguided. While I may have envied aspects of her seemingly privileged upbringing, I failed to grasp the depth of her pain. It's high time I extend an olive branch, offer empathy and support in any way I can. I didn't cause this turmoil, but I can certainly be a source of comfort and understanding in her time of need. As for the next tale, it's a stark contrast, delving into the complexities of familial heirlooms and sibling dynamics. At the crux of the issue lies a cherished necklace and an act of assistance rendered during a pivotal moment in my sister's life. But that's a story for another time. So, we've got my sister, who, after receiving financial support from our parents, decided to step into the realm of independence, selling off her inherited earrings to make ends meet. Fast forward a bit, and she's got a daughter, Elle, and suddenly realizes that childcare is as pricey as it is essential. Who does she turn to for help? Yours truly, of course. Cue years of playdates turned babysitting gigs, where I found myself tasked with keeping Elle in check. Cut to the impending chaos of my sister's wedding, and lo and behold, there's no babysitter in sight for Elle. Naturally, she assumes I'll fill in the role, citing our familial ties and my past assistance. But hold on, folks, because I've had enough. I put my foot down, refusing to be roped into yet another round of childcare duty. But wait, there's more. My sister has the audacity to ask for the cherished necklace passed down from our grandmother, the very necklace I've cherished and worn daily since the tender age of 9. It's not just any piece of jewelry. It's a repository of memories, a tangible link to my past. And no, I won't lend it out, not even for her dream wedding. Enter the chorus of dissent from the bridal party, attempting to guilt-trip me into compliance. But sorry, folks, I'm not budging. My best friends may think I'm being unreasonable, but they don't understand the sentimental value attached to this necklace. Sure, I'm not overly concerned about the necklace's safety. I've got it securely tucked away most of the time. And as for being disinvited from the wedding, well, if that's the consequence of standing my ground, then so be it. I refuse to relinquish my autonomy for the sake of someone else's convenience. In conclusion, I stand firm in my decision, unwavering in my refusal to be manipulated or guilt-tripped into compliance. The necklace stays with me, and my sister will have to find another solution for childcare. Not the whole, indeed. First off, the notion of lending out the cherished necklace passed down from grandma raises some red flags. One can't help but wonder if it would ever find its way back into my possession, given the stakes involved. And as for my niece, Elle, well, it's high time my sister took responsibility for arranging childcare. After all, she's got ample time to secure a babysitter, there's no need for me to be roped into the equation. Furthermore, it strikes me as odd that my sister hasn't explored other avenues for Elle's care, considering she's old enough not to require constant supervision. Perhaps a candid conversation about staying with immediate family members would alleviate the need for my involvement. Kudos to me for pushing back against my sister's entitled demands. It's crystal clear that she views me as a convenient childcare solution rather than valuing my presence at the wedding for familial reasons. Frankly, if her primary motive for inviting me is to serve as a glorified babysitter, then what's the point of attending at all? In the grand scheme of things, my relationship with my sister remains intact, but her entitled behavior leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Onward to the next tale, where familial dynamics take center stage once more. Enter the tumultuous landscape of my parents' separation, a saga fraught with betrayal and heartache. Both parties bear responsibility for the dissolution of their union, tainted by infidelity and resentment. Yet amidst the chaos, I find myself in the role of mediator, attempting to steer my mother towards stability and security. My sister, armed with a lucrative income, steps forward to offer financial assistance, a gesture aimed at securing our mother's independence. However, a sudden shift in plans throws a wrench into the carefully laid out path towards stability. My mother's frantic insistence on acquiring a property in our smaller city, coupled with the demand for my co-signature on a loan, sets alarm bells ringing. Navigating the murky waters of familial obligations and financial entanglements, I find myself torn between loyalty to my mother and a sense of self-preservation. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires careful consideration and introspection. In conclusion, the tangled web of familial responsibilities and financial obligations demands a nuanced approach, one that prioritizes both practicality and emotional well-being. Only time will tell how this chapter unfolds, but rest assured, I'll tread cautiously as I navigate the turbulent waters ahead. In the labyrinthine landscape of European finance, a tale unfolds, wrought with urgency and familial discord. The crux of the matter lies in my mother's sudden fervor to acquire a property, a decision met with skepticism and concern from her offspring. Let's dissect the intricacies of this narrative, shall we? First and foremost, the process of securing a loan from the designated bank is no small feat. A friend, well versed in the intricacies of risk assessment, divulged that the approval timeline spans months, not days. Furthermore, given my mother's substantial salary, the notion of requiring a co-signer appears incongruous with financial reality. Yet, in the face of reason, my mother remains steadfast in her determination to expedite the acquisition of said property. Ah, the tangled web of familial obligations. My sister and I find ourselves at a crossroads, torn between loyalty to our mother and a nagging sense of apprehension. While she extols the virtues of her sacrifices on our behalf, the truth belies a different narrative. Scholarships and part-time employment facilitated our education, rendering her assertions of financial martyrdom moot. As housing prices soar and loan interest rates reach unprecedented heights, caution whispers its warnings in my ear. I gently counsel my mother against rash decisions, advocating for adherence to the original plan. Alas, reason falls on deaf ears, replaced by a cacophony of hysteria and emotional turmoil. The conversation, fraught with tension, unfolds over the phone, culminating in a crescendo of indignation. Blocked from social media, ostracized from familial discourse, I find myself adrift in a sea of uncertainty. Am I the antagonist in this tale of familial strife? The resounding chorus of dissent suggests otherwise. My reluctance to acquiesce to my mother's demands stems not from malice but from a desire to protect her from potential harm. Urging caution, I stand as a bulwark against the tempest of impulsive decision-making. In conclusion, the path forward is shrouded in uncertainty, fraught with the specter of financial peril. Yet, guided by reason and tempered by familial love, I shall navigate these treacherous waters with steadfast resolve. Not the whole, but rather a guardian of pragmatism in the face of adversity. Amidst the swirling currents of familial drama, a tale of caution unfurls, bearing the hallmarks of a classic scam. It appears that my mother, ensnared by the siren song of a seemingly lucrative property deal, finds herself teetering on the precipice of financial ruin. The telltale signs of manipulation are unmistakable: urgency, desperation, and a relentless push towards hasty decisions. It's a playbook straight out of the scammer's handbook, designed to prey upon the vulnerabilities of unsuspecting victims. Whether it's an exaggerated sense of competition for the property or misleading information about its condition or ownership, the endgame remains the same: quick money at the expense of unsuspecting prey. In this tangled web of deceit, my refusal to co-sign a loan blindly emerges as an act of prudence, not abstinence. To expect such a monumental financial commitment without proper due diligence is folly of the highest order. And as for my mother's attempts to guilt-trip me into compliance, well, they serve only to underscore the depths of her desperation. Yet, amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope emerges. By maintaining a vigilant eye and staying in touch with my sister, we can weather this storm together. It's a delicate balancing act, requiring both firm resolve and empathetic understanding. But armed with wisdom and solidarity, we shall navigate these treacherous waters with grace and fortitude. In conclusion, I stand firm in my resolve, refusing to be swayed by emotional manipulation or reckless abandon. It's not about being the antagonist. It's about protecting oneself and one's loved ones from the clutches of deception. Not the whole, but rather a beacon of caution in a sea of uncertainty.